Hi guys, how you doing? This is D. Durrell with D. Durrell Life Solutions. I'm in an unfamiliar place that you're not used to seeing. This is actually where most of my charting is done, where my office manager works in. This is where all the information management, the billing, and so on. And so today, what I'd like to talk about is the financial aspects of business, as far as managing a healthcare facility. And so what I like to talk about is it's very important in that process of managing your healthcare facility, private practice, agency, what have you, is the management of paperwork, the management of your employees. One key thing is merely just answering the phone. To me, that's like the first point of contact. Also managing your mail, emails, fax machines, your computers that we have, copy machine, fax, shredding paperwork that has valuable or private information, so that we could clearly are abiding by HIPAA laws and so forth. We don't want a HIPAA violation. You see, all of those things intertwine as it relates to managing your business, your healthcare agency, facility, or private practice when it comes to the healthcare fields, any type of healthcare field, where it's physical health, mental health, home health, occupational therapy, a personal care physician, specialty areas, and so forth. Now, just recently, guys, I used the services of an outside provider to help me improve my business and increase my bottom line and clientele, because due to COVID, it kind of gotten in based on the fact that people are not willing to do face-to-face counseling, it has hindered my ability to have the constant workflow face-to-face. And not that I want to have, for myself and for my own safety and clients, we want to be very, very careful on the amount of face-to-face, because we just can't randomly just accept anybody during this period of COVID and so forth. So my accumulation of virtual sessions and so on has increased substantially since May of last year. Now, although I've had an increase, I've had a overall very, very negative decrease in face-to-face. And it's somewhat evening itself out, but not quite. So what I took it upon myself to do is that all the time that I spend as an administrator, business owner, and therapist dealing with insurances and credentialing, insurance, the billing, and so on, the coding. I have one contract agency that does billing for me on one end for certain types of clients I see. Then I have another employee that provides billing for me for the day-to-day things that I oversee myself. But third, what I decided to do is that I found myself doing more and more of overseeing not only my credentialing, my licensure, training. I'm also doing it for other therapists that I have working for me. And I have 4 therapists that currently work in contract for me. I decided to go with another agency. I spent a nice chunk of change to get them to expand my insurance panels so that I can improve my bottom line. Now, if it wasn't for COVID-19, I probably wouldn't have done that, because I was pretty comfortable and I was pretty full as relates to the foot traffic and so on, and the contracts that I had with other agencies and so forth. But due to COVID-19, that kind of decreased and put a hamper on things. And so now I'm going to fight that and maybe put things back in a positive direction by now opening myself up to more employment assistance programs and more private companies and so forth. So basically, that's what I'm basically doing at the moment. Give me 1 second. Transitional Life Counseling, Dempsey, I can help you. Okay. Didn't work out. So, I'm going to talk about the fact that it is important, number one, for you to accept clients and that are in network for you or that is able to pay cash. The client has to qualify and be on panels. They have to be in network. If you do things out of network and so forth, you're going to probably need all types of authorizations, extra paperwork, and it's not good for long-term functioning. Number two, it is good to manage your foot traffic, your virtual traffic, knowing how many referrals am I getting from one insurance, how many clients from one insurance compared to another. Sometimes it may not be worth keeping a panel or an insurance company that's giving you a hard time to pay you, or you constantly have to give extra information, or they're not paying a high enough rate. Sometimes you constantly have to be on the phone and there's issues with the client. It's not, I'm just going to say, just because you have a lot of insurance companies that's on your panels and on your roster doesn't mean that it's a good thing. What you want to do, and I think is important, is that you deal with insurance companies, number one, that are easy to access, they pay a great rate, and they refer you clients. And the clients in those network, depending on where you're located, they are basically gravitating towards your practice and your business for the services that they need. My rule of thumb is that if I cannot get at least 3 clients in 90 days from a particular insurance company, I'm probably going to drop them the following year. It's no use of me filling out paperwork to constantly be on their panel and all these other things that they want you to do and to follow up and change and update information and so forth. If you're not going to send me clients, if you're not going to be visible where your people in your network is not big enough in which they need my services, it's better to rid yourself of that extra work that you don't have to do. I would rather deal with someone that's going to give me a few clients a month. They're easy to access and I'm getting paid a good rate and it's steady flowing. That's what you want. You want the steadiness of revenue, the consistency of referrals, and the consistency of the clients who need those particular services. Because no matter what you're doing, it's about the bottom line. It's definitely about the bottom line. So I also say that it is also paramount that you delegate your needs, things that need to be taken care of, and tasks and duties among those that work for you. As an owner, as a director, as a therapist, I struggle with that because sometimes I want to get into billing stuff, I want to get into management, supervisory stuff, things that I don't necessarily have to do, and I sometimes want to oversee everything. And I try my hardest not to micromanage. And then I find myself somewhat micromanaging things. Not necessarily the employee themselves, but just the way everything is done, if it's going to be appropriately done. Because I understand that if the company takes a loss, I take a loss, and the staff takes a loss. So again, it's about the bottom line. It's definitely about the bottom line. I'm here right now. I had to take care of some information, medical record wise, for an insurance company 2 years in a row that I had to do so. And part of it was due to some management issues with a therapist and some things that I shouldn't have had to do, but I had to take care of it. My staff was not here, so I had to basically do things myself. But that's just how the day go when you're functioning in a business. So again, guys, I hope what I talked about is helpful for you as I brought up an array of different things. If you have any comments in the comment section or any questions in regards to managing the business side of your private practice, that means the billing, the referrals, the insurances, the coding for things, the tracking of referrals, understanding where is my time best suited and should be invested over time. So again, this is D. Durrell with D. Durrell Life Solutions. Have a great day.